The views and opinions expressed during this program are entirely those of the show's hosts and do not necessarily reflect those of Rude Rangers Entertainment, its investors, management, advertisers, or staff. Don't sue us, y'all. We don't have any money.
Hey, love bugs. It is Yvonne, the Motivator Man, and you are chilling with me, and you're here at Dear Daughter. I have been waiting to talk to all of you, and I want to discuss with you today living beyond the mistake. But first, you're saying I look like the Princess of Zamunda, right? And you know how Facebook always reminds you of stuff. Half of it you really don't care. And then there's pictures that you're like, oh, but 10 years ago today, this very day, I left Africa. I got on a plane to come back to America. It was my third mission trip, my first time being in Africa. So I just wanted to keep the memory vibrant for the rest of the day. Got my little gele on, my earrings, which were made by, she crafty, Jamaica McDuffie. So you want to check her out. On Instagram, it says, I'm determined. She made these just for determined women of destiny. And I tell all of you, my love bugs, y'all are part of that group too. They are only $20 as long as you use the code DWD. So go on over there to She Crafty Instagram, get your I'm determined earrings and put in the code DWD. So you can get your discount. She's selling them for much more than 20 right now. So get them while they're hot. Get them while they're hot. But I want to discuss with you today, living beyond the mistake. Oh, I hear it. I hear it. Close your mouth. Close your mouth. Close your mouth. I hear it right now. Oh, you don't know what I did. Child, if I had $1 for every time I said that, and guess what? I'm still alive and I made it through. You will make it through your mistake also. You have to forgive yourself for making that decision. And it was a wrong decision. And you're human. And humans make mistakes. Now, if you just keep doing it over and over again, it's not a mistake. You're willingly wanting to put yourself in a position that's not a good one. That's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about repeat offenders, okay? We're talking about I made a really bad decision. Shame and guilt has now taken over, and I don't know if I'm going to get past this point. And I'm telling you, you are going to get past the point. You're going to get past that decision. And, at your age now, you'll live past it. And if there's anyone that brings it up at a later date, you know what you say to them? That's a memory you keep. That's not a memory that I keep. But thank you so much for speaking to me. And you can hold on to that for me because I don't hold on to it anymore. And you're like, oh, Yvonne, that's easier to say than it is to do. Well, I tell you this. The scriptures say that when you ask for forgiveness from God, your sin, which is your mistake, is as far from the east as it is from the west. See, God doesn't have time to have a book. He's sitting here with this notebook. Yes, Yvonne did this and Yvonne did that on what day? No. When you say, I shouldn't have done that, I'm really sorry I did it. Lord, forgive me. It's done. Your slate is wiped clean. And it's you who holds on to that guilt of, I did it. And let's look at some of the mistakes we can make. I'm a procrastinator, which gets me in trouble all the time, and I'm working better at it. But there's so many things that I've missed because of procrastinating. In my head, I always say, I've got enough time. And what I tell myself now is, no, you don't. You don't have the time, so go. I've missed trains. I've missed planes. I've missed deadlines because I've told myself, you've got enough time. Okay, I'm working through that, and I don't tell myself that anymore because I don't want to miss the things happening in my life that should happen because I'm a procrastinator. Now, I could feel guilty and say, oh man, that time I missed that plane and totally screwed up my schedule and keep beating myself up for it is not going to take away the fact that I missed my plane, that I missed my chance to speak that day, all because of the fact I could have left the house at 9 a.m. for a 12:15 plane. I said, you have time. I left the house at 10 o'clock to catch the train to the plane, and who would have known that the train would have been late? Everybody knows trains are late. So if I would have taken the 9, I would have gotten there at 10:30. Would have gotten me to the airport at least by 11. I had an hour to go through JFK to get to where I needed to get to. But instead, I had time, and I didn't. I missed the speaking engagement, had to get back some money, had to apologize, and I just had to repent. I had to forgive myself. And in doing that, I got a call back later that week telling me they understood and they wanted me to come back. And she even laughed and said, well, we're doing the conference in the evening this time, so you have enough time to get to us. You know, isn't that special? And I could still be beating myself up for it. If you beat yourself up, if you live through guilt, if you live through shame, you can't ever turn it around. So you're so busy beating yourself up. Turn the situation around. Guys, oh my God, do you know my whole teenage life, because the worst thing was to say you were dating somebody and you felt like you were. And when they asked him, oh, that's your girlfriend? No. And then everybody looks at you like, girl, didn't you say that was your boyfriend? So I would always tell them, ask him. I'm asking you. I say, ask him. So when he said yes, okay, I was free and clear. If he said no, there was no embarrassment. Another thing I never wanted to do in my youth was to have sex with someone and then to be dumped, humped and dumped, hidden and dismiss it. And that never happened until I'm grown, old as water. But the relationship was toxic and we were back and forth. And the last time we were together, you know, had sent me a card. I love you. You're the best thing that could have happened to me. And we had a conversation a week after that. And he tells me, well, right now, I really don't want to be in a relationship. We were doing this for 5.5 years, fool. When did you figure that out? And why didn't you tell me? And here it is, the thing that I worked so hard in my youth not to happen, happened. And when I tell you I beat myself up, and it wasn't days, it wasn't weeks, it was years later. It was an everyday song in my head, humped and dumped, humped and dumped. I went to church one night and I went up to the altar for prayer. And the man of God speaking said, woman of God, can I speak to you? I looked up like, could you? Yes. And he said one thing to me, every day, you're going to beat yourself up every day. Now that's the power of God. God was so concerned about how I was feeling, what I was going through. He showed it to somebody else. And he said to me, if you knew what your future looked like, you wouldn't even be concerned about what's beating you up. Now I want to tell you, this was almost 15 years ago that this happened. That man saw today, me sitting here talking to you. He saw this future. All I could see was what happened to me. So I tell you, you can live through it. If he ever brought it up to me, which he never would, I don't imagine ever seeing him again. And if he would bring it up to me, I would look at him and say, sir, I don't know what you're talking about or who you're talking to, because that's not me. But have a very good day. Because it's not me anymore. My whole entire life has changed. My thought pattern has changed. Don't let people or yourself keep you in a holding pattern when you know your plane has taken off. It was a mistake. It shouldn't have been done. The next one, money. Okay, you had a large sum of money and there was things you were supposed to do with it and you didn't. And you spent it frivolously. I think I said that wrong, but you'll know what I mean. You spent it in a way you shouldn't have. That's a better way. And now you need that cash and you don't have that cash. And you're beating yourself up with, if I wouldn't have bought this, or I wouldn't have bought that, if I wouldn't have bought this, I would have had the money I needed at the time. Going through that too. I got to tell you, you will have money again. And learn from that mistake. So when you get a large sum of money again, you look at, okay, I'm a tithe, I'm a save, and then I get one thing that I want, and it's not going to be a high ticket item because I'm going to live another day to get a high ticket item. You know, stop beating yourself up. Do you know that there are erasers on pencils because mistakes happen? They absolutely happen. Have you ever said something to somebody and after the words came out of your mouth, you just wanted to reach into the air and put them back in your mouth and you hit your head like, oh, why did I say that? Well, rest assured, you're not the only human on the planet that has done it or is doing it or will do it. So the only thing you can say if you offended someone was, you know what? I shouldn't have said that. I was very wrong. Please forgive me. And if they don't forgive you, forgive yourself and just know you shouldn't have said it. You're right. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. Live beyond the mistake. And don't let people keep you in that holding pattern of, look what you did. This is what you did. This is what you said, how terrible you are. I'm going to tell you, there are people that are still feeding off of things I did in my 20s. And I'm soon to kiss 60, right dab smack on the lips. So my question is, why would you even consider something that I did back then? When we come back from break, we're going to talk about how to deal with the residue of past hurts way back then. Well, y'all ain't that old, so they way back then. But things you did in your past that people won't let go of. I'll be right back.
David Axterby of Long Island Telecom. We are your cellular superstar. We have the best in no-contract cellular on every carrier in the United States. We also do portable MiFi units, home phone service. We could beat your cable company at their own game by providing you very inexpensive TV, and we are a Sirius XM dealer as well. We can create a website for you, give you a special corporate email, and we do credit card processing. 631-833-9679.
It's all about humanity. about humanity.
Hey, love bugs. I'm so glad you came back because I wanted to finish talking to you about living beyond your mistakes. And before the break, we were talking about how do you deal with the residue of past mistakes that people just won't let go? Well, I tell you this. You can either say, yeah, you're right, child or girl, or yeah, I shouldn't have did that. Or you can realize that you're beyond that point right now. Do not look back and look forward and say, it's sad that you remember that, but you don't remember anything that I'm doing now. Or maybe you just don't know. So let's just discuss some stuff that I'm doing now. And that's how I do it. I just, have you checked out my show? I have like 3, and this is what I do. And what do you do? And maybe, I could have you on Determined Women of Destiny if you're a female entrepreneur, and, how's your kids or whatever. I just changed the subject. And the reason why I changed the subject, because I changed my life. And you're not going to keep me back there in a place where I'm not right now. I'm not going back there. I'm just not going to do it. There's a reason why it's clearer to look when you're driving ahead of you instead of looking in that rearview mirror. It always says objects appear closer than they actually are. So when people bring to you your past, they want to just explode it worse than what it was. I remember being young and drinking and hanging out. And it was a night I did something really foolish on Sunrise Highway in Queens. And, there's one friend that talks about it and she's like, girl, you remember that night? It was wild. And there's another friend that brings it up and they have to bring up, you remember you had on this, my clothing, and your hair was, and you did this, and you did this, and you did that. And finally, I said to this person, because we've been friends since we were 11. So now I'm talking about her. Ooh, hope you don't come beat me up. But, we've been friends for a while. So we've talked for many, many years. And this happened in my 20s. So now 40 years later, he still brings it up every now and then. So the last time he brought up, I said, how long are you going to keep that memory? I said, we have so many things to remember that we've done over the years, but you always bring that one up. I said, is it because you think that's the most shameful thing I've ever done? And you may get joy out of my shame because it makes your shame look better or feel better? I'm no longer shamed by that activity because that's not Yvonne. Yvonne's not drinking. Yvonne's not getting drunk. Yvonne ain't doing something crazy down the middle line of Sunrise Highway. And anybody who saw me that night or anybody that knows it, if they want to discuss it with you, that's fine. But let them know Yvonne's not going to talk about it. You are the master of your life. God has given you complete control. You can either sit in shame and guilt, or you can go forward, learn from your mistakes, and live the good life. Do you see me sitting here crying about stuff that I've done? Even a mistake I might have made 2 weeks ago. Did I make? Probably did. I just don't remember. But I'm not sitting here crying over it. The first thing I do is repent. God, I am so sorry. I will tell you, if you ever ask me the character in the Bible I feel I'm most resembling of, it would be David. Always in trouble, always forgiven, the apple of God's eye. Period. Always. I'm always like, God, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have done that. And my mouth, oh Lord, the tongue can be reckless. Lord, I shouldn't have said that. But the one thing I also am, I am very quick to ask for forgiveness. Very quick. I shouldn't have done that. Please forgive me. I shouldn't have said that. Please forgive me. I should have done something better than that. I'll ask for forgiveness. Whether the person forgives me or not, I really don't care. And the reason being is If that person doesn't forgive you, that's between them and God. You already asked for forgiveness. You good with God. Your slate is clean. That's the reason why you don't hold on to mistakes. That's the reason why you don't talk about anybody else's mistakes. You live beyond it. And for my young ones, you think that it's the most tragic thing that ever happened. Trust and believe 10 years down the road, it's going to be like nothing. When that friend brings up that night, I clearly just look at him. I start laughing and say, seriously, you still stuck there? Well, let me bring you up here. Let me bring you together. And then I just start speaking about something else. It's more so you that keep you in a place where that mistake happened than anybody else. It doesn't matter if they're talking about it. It's how you respond to it. And your response is everything. Everything. How you respond to getting past it gets you just there, past it. That's why in the Bible it says, this too shall pass. It wasn't written just for some things. It was written for everything. Everything that doesn't make you feel good, that's not doing good for you, this too shall pass. You will live past the pain of your mistake. And here's a news flash for you. I don't know why I can't talk today. Y'all forgive me. It's been a rough 2 weeks. But here's a news flash for you. Do you know the life that you're living and all that you're going through has nothing to do with you? It has to do with every other person you will come in contact with that is going through what you've gone through. You are a template for their success. Yep. All of that I went through, I had no idea that I'd be talking to all you love bugs, trying to give you just a little bit insight into this thing called life from the life that I've lived. And who would have ever known at 20 in the middle of Sunrise Highway in Queens that would be a story, number one, I would laugh hysterically over. But I would be able to tell you at 60, that doesn't bother me. It doesn't. We waste too much time talking about what we did instead of living the life that we should. Shake it off, ask for forgiveness, and keep living. Because trust me, if you wake up tomorrow and God give you life, I know I sound like them old church mothers. Well, if the Lord see fit for me to live. Y'all know I'm a nut. But seriously, if you wake up tomorrow morning, just know there's probably another mistake waiting for you. Just don't make the same one. If it's relationship mistakes, look at you. Why you keep getting the same guy? He the same guy. Just look different, got a different name, got a different pair of sneakers on. But it's the same guy. So it's not that all guys dog you out. You happen to look for the guys that would dog you out. If you're bad with money, then go online and find a process to help you save money. There's all types of formulas that you can use. Just put in best way to save money, or a household budget or a personal budget. And so much stuff will pop up. Use it. Just use it. If you run your mouth and you say stuff you shouldn't, when I tell you what, you go into prayer and you ask God to cleave your tongue to the roof of your mouth. The next time you want to say something, you don't have no business. But even better yet, think about how many times people have said stuff to you that has been hurtful, embarrassing, just not productive or loving. And how did you feel? So imagine the other person that you're talking to, how they're feeling. See, if we put more into how someone else feels when we're speaking, there's a lot of things we won't say. Trust and believe. This tongue is slick. Every day, all day. I have to really make sure that this tongue does not hit these teeth so that a certain sound comes out of my mouth and those words are formed. And that comes with discipline. It really does. And oh no, I got to get it off my chest. Trust me, nobody even cares. They don't care what's on your chest. So if you running around here, love bug, sugar baby, let me find out, or I'ma let them have it. My question is, what you letting them have? And if you keep letting them have it, you won't have none for yourself. So that is your issue, that you always got to run your mouth. Deal with that. Deal with it. Life is a process and it is a journey. And you just have to keep living. You can't stop every time something doesn't go correctly. But you can stop, drop, hit your knee, and pray. How do I not do this again? Give me guidance on how I'm going to go forward in my life. And is there someone that I'll be able to touch with my story about what I went through? It's all of us in this together. Remember that. It is a sisterhood. It's a humanhood. It is a lovehood. Just because you're inhaling and exhaling, your existence is important to me. I don't need to know your name to know that I would give you love, because as a human, you deserve it. And as far as those mistakes, and you're still like, oh, Miss Yvonne, I can't shake it. You are more than welcome to hit me up at Determined Women Destiny, Determined Women Destiny at gmail.com, or you can go to my website, determinedwomenofdestiny.com, and just drop me a line and I will respond within 24 hours. And you feel as though you can't shake this, sugar baby, I promise you, I will walk you straight out of that hell into a place of peace, tranquility, and happiness, because you can do it. And it's all about your thoughts. You have to change your thoughts, and you have to change your thoughts about yourself. When you do that and you start respecting the woman that you are and loving the woman that you are, you'll start seeing that those mistakes are going to be less. Because you love yourself, there's certain things you won't do. Because you respect yourself, there's certain things you won't let happen. So you won't have to worry about, oh, every time I get in a relationship, it goes bad. No. You'll start picking different people to allow in your life. And when it comes to a certain point, there's certain people that just won't come for you, honey, because they know exactly who you are. So love bugs, I hope that this helps you. Again, if you just can't shake it, hit me up, determinedwomendestiny at gmail.com or www.determinedwomenofdestiny.com. I'm sorry. Yeah. www.determinedwomenofdestiny.com. That's my website, or email me at determinedwomendestiny@gmail.com. So until next time, love bugs, hugs, smooches, and kisses. You guys take care.